On this episode, the Clinical Access Team.
I can't just shut it off. I don't just shut it off.
Welcome to Sherwood Dodge Road to Hope. I'm Bianca Jade. Today we are in Edmonton as Charolta Saskew introduces us to the George Spady Society Clinical Access Team. There they support those struggling with substance issues as they provide physical, mental, and overall well-being.
First of all, is Mary around?
Nicole Weber starts her day by going through case files.
You need 3 documented pieces of DV before you can evict. On our caseload, our youngest is 22 and our oldest participant is 67. Okay, bye. We see mental health issues, substance use issues, and have barriers in their life to be successful. So she hadn't been drinking with him all weekend?
No, she was drinking with TY.
Sometimes there's a crisis, there's an emergency, but for the most part it's out in the field, meeting with the clients, working on the service plans, potentially advocating for them, being in constant contact with their follow-up support workers at their housing first agencies. You get to really know a person by seeing where they live, how their day-to-day life runs, and we support them in keeping their place clean and what do they need? Do they need groceries? Do they need the food bank?
Nicole is on her way to pick up a client for counseling.
We just have to check in that we're here and that we made it safe. We're not working for or with, it's working side by side. The program works for some, it doesn't work for others, and we have to work from where they're at, and that's why we take a harm reduction approach with all our participants.
Harm reduction is a strategy to help decrease the harm associated with engaging in risk-taking behavior.
For the participants and for those who walk alongside them, it's not an easy journey, and that's part of the journey is lapsing, but finding the motivation to make those steps forward.
Thank you.
The rewarding things are the simple things. Hey, you've been sober for an hour. That's awesome. It's great when a client can phone you and say, this week has been amazing.
Yeah, no doubt.
I've been struggling with addictions for 39 years. My situation was a pretty hard one. I grew up with sexual abuse my whole childhood. From 3 or 4 till I was 15, my biological grandfather on my dad's side was molesting, raping, and then once you became a woman, he would stop and move on to the next granddaughter. I was 16 when I first started drinking. Crack cocaine, pot, marijuana, speed, crystal meth. I didn't get quite as far as heroin, thank God, but I was at the end starting to think about it. I was homeless for about 3.5 years, without shelter, without having a home to live in, so it was pretty hard.
To maintain her addiction, Mary fell into prostitution.
I'd go out every night just to, do a couple tricks, get my money, go to my dealer's house, buy my crack, smoke up. As soon as it was gone, I'd head back out to my corner and do a couple more tricks just to keep the drugs flowing in. If it wasn't for the George Spady Center, I'd be lost. I'm not even close to where I want to be yet, no. I'm only about 7 weeks sober right now. So I still want to do a lot more work with the Spady team and get a lot more support that way and get on my feet a little bit better, do more relapse prevention planning. Nicole's helped me a lot with my triggers, and I feel clear-headed, not as foggy, not obsessing about the drugs.
With Mary today, I'm very honored and very privileged that I am able to walk this journey with her, even with the bumps in the road. That's what it's about. It's about relationship building and about mutual respect and not judging. What I hear a lot of is, well, why can't they just pull themselves out of that? And, it's not that easy. You're struggling, you're coping, you're surviving.
I ended up leaving a domestic violence relationship. He wasn't hitting my children, but he was hitting me. And it had gotten to the point where he was doing it in front of them, in front of other people, in front of family members. And he tried to kill me. And unfortunately, my daughters were in the room and they were trying to help in one of the incidents because he had busted the door down in the room that we were in, hiding. And he choked me out and I went unconscious. I was scared for my life and I was scared for my kids.
Jessica took her 3 children and fled from her abusive partner.
Well, I had no family to rely on, and it was pretty scary and traumatic, having to worry about whether you're going to have a meal to share with your kids or not knowing where you're going to sleep the next day. I was referred by my family worker to George Spady, and they've guided me to gain some confidence in myself, and they've just showed me I can overcome a lot of barriers that I thought I couldn't.
I come from a very sincere place when I'm working with my clients. I can't just shut it off. I don't just shut it off. Do I go above and beyond? I will, I have, and I'm able to. I absolutely love my job. I love my team. I love the George Spady Society for having such a program like this.
Spady Cat works with clients like Mary and Jessica until they fully reach their recovery goals. If you are interested in today's episode, please follow the George Spady Society and be sure to join in on the conversation online by using the hashtag Road to Hope. Thanks for watching. I'm Bianca Jade.